Hello, everyone. My name is Gina Cavallini with Rosemary and Thyme Health, and I am going to take you through the beautiful deep dive of the water element. So those of you familiar, or in this case, unfamiliar with Chinese medicine, we have these beautiful 5 elements that cycle within our body 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and 365 days a year. So I just kind of wanted to break this down for you really simply from a nature standpoint of what is happening within your body elementally and what this all means. So water, for instance, is going to grow the wood of a tree. The wood is going to burn to generate the fire within us. The fire burns to become earth, and the burned earth creates, as it burns, right? It creates ash, which is metal, and the metal then soaks into the earth and the water, and the cycle starts all over again. So if you're tuning into my videos and you start to understand what each of these elements are, which is why I do these deep dives, you'll begin to understand how these elements show up for you every single day. So let's dive into the water element. So I always love to show a celebrity that I think just really embodies a particular element, just to help you to understand what that might look like. And I love to use Kim Kardashian. She embodies to me this water element. The water element has beautiful, luxurious, long hair, healthy hair. They usually have some junk in the trunk, and they also have sort of this darkness around their eyes. Now, I realize she's wearing some makeup, but I will show you what that might mean as far as a disharmony a little bit later in this presentation. So I love using Kim K because to me, she just personifies what the water element would look like. So what does it do? So it rules our kidneys and bladder, those 2 organs that are inside our body. And that helps us to support our waterways. So think of urine, think of regulating our pH balance, think about how we're promoting elimination. Also, the water element, every element, if you can see this behind me, has a color. So what is the color of the water element? Obviously, it's like blue, black, purple, dark color. And then it's responsible for our sense of hearing. The energy of this element, every element has an energy, and the energy of this is the will. It's like our willpower, that reason for us, the reason that we are living. And that is our water element at play. It supports our bones. It provides a salty taste, and I will explain a little bit more about that when I talk about foods. And its window to this element is through the ears. So its action, obviously, would be listening, right? We have to have ears in order to listen. And its sound is moaning and groaning. And its feature, like Kim K, which is why I love using her, is the hair. So this, as you listen in to the remainder of this, maybe this will start making a little bit more sense. So every element has a season, and the water element is at its peak during winter. So this is where it gets its color, this purple, blue, black of winter is representation of water. So there's a lot of different things happening within water just in this image that you can see. There's some open parts where the water is able to flow freely. There are some iced over spots that is maybe very rigid. And that's where that groaning, like think about what the sound of ice makes, and that's that groan. And if the water element rules our bones, then if we are groaning and creaking like the ice would during the winter. That's our water element letting us know that it needs some support. So just think about that the next time you have aching bones and all that kind of stuff. So the kidney in Chinese medicine is extremely important. This water element is like key to our longevity. It controls how we age. So it governs our birth, our growth, our DNA, which in Chinese medicine is called our essence, and why it rules the hair, right? As your water element starts to deplete, your hair will naturally thin as you age. So think about this, right? I said that it opens to the ear. Think about when our hearing, as it naturally decreases as we age, that is just letting us know that our water element is needing a boost, so to speak. It also helps to govern our waterways. Again, like it said, houses our will, and it supports our bones and allows us to have that inner fire that we need, that willpower that we need to keep going every single day, to go to work every day, to move our body and stay strong. That's what that means. So how does this water element look physically to us when our water's out of balance? So some people, if they are not regulating their waterways, not getting enough water each day, right? Really, a lot of us do that. We might experience constipation with dry stools. We might also suffer from throat issues like dry, itchy throat. Another important thing to think about what's going on in nature if the water rules the winter time. It's very dark out. So that darkness has to do with being fearful. If you have insomnia or nightmares, that is your water element letting you know it needs some support. And for women, if you suffer from menstruation issues, that is another key feature. And also genital itching. So these just might be some of the simple everyday pathologies that might come up with an imbalanced water element. How does that happen in the first place? Well, think about it. We are a very busy society. A lot of us don't get time to exercise. We're overworked. We work 60 hours a week, sometimes more. Think about it, people that work nights, they are always in that darkness all the time. They're not getting the vitamin D from the sun. That is going to be detrimental over time to your water element. Also, if you are a soda drinker or you drink lots of ice water during the winter, that is going to actually deplete your water element quicker than it would need to. And you might experience bone issues or lead to maybe aging quicker than you should because it's wintertime. You don't want to be drinking cold on cold. That doesn't support your body. Another thing we talk about in Chinese medicine is oversexing ourselves. We live in a very consumption-based society. There should be a balance in everything that we do. So think about that and how that plays out in your life. And then the key thing, right, we are talking about the water element, is dehydration. So here we go again with Kim K. So again, like I like to use celebrities as a way to showcase what is going on. So when you're in, your water element is in disharmony, you might wake up with black circles around your eyes. You can see Kim K here, full black circles underneath her eyes. She's probably overworking herself. I mean, think about what she does, chased by paparazzi all the time and living her glorious life is probably pretty tiring. So this is Kim K on a bad day. And this happens to all of us, getting dark circles under our eyes. And Leonardo DiCaprio, also my other favorite water element person to show off, is he's also a really busy guy, just like we all are. And we would have bags underneath our eyes. So that's just letting us know that our waterways in our body are not being supported. So let's get back to what that means for aging and the bones and that ice water creaking and cracking. So when you are needing to tonify your water element, you might be experiencing low back pain and weakness and pain in your knees, which is very common, right, as we get older. But it's also going to happen even if you're young and you are overworking yourself, right? If this water element controls how quickly we age, these are our signs of aging that the water element is trying to tell us, like, hey, 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 slow down here, sister. I need some support, right? Go get some sleep. Easy to say, sometimes hard to do. So so just think about that as that comes up for you, how you can teach yourself to do as water does and slow down and kind of go with the flow of life. So what does that mean for us as far as personality, right? I just said it, go with the flow. People who have a strong water element have great endurance. They're also very introspective and intuitive. Like we associate water, if you're into astrology and all those things, you associate sort of that water signs with intuition. They're very exotic and sensual. They enjoy lying down and doing things in bed, like eating, watching TV, and reading. So then this also, so that's like if your water is in flow, right? You're allowing yourself to just be in the moment. So what happens when your water element is in a negative state? You'll experience fear. You'll have either overzealous willfulness, which sometimes can be a bad thing. Sometimes you just got to learn to like let go of things and, let go, let God, right? Like freezing in your emotions. You might be stubborn and you might be resisting your flow of life. So think about that image of the water that I showed you, and this image right here too. We've got the icicles, the frozen water, and then we have the free-flowing water that's just like, nope, I'm just moving forward and I'm going with the flow and breaking through. Which one do you want to be? So let's talk about food. Each element has food associated with it. So if you are experiencing any of those symptoms of, aching bones and all that kind of stuff, what foods can you buy at the grocery store to help you nourish your water element? Think winter cooking. Think warm, hearty soups, roasting your food, long simmering times like slow cooker foods, right? Dutch oven. And think about sea salt. So if the taste of the water element is salty, think about what happens in the north, like in Sweden and Norway, in those cold, dark winters. They are putting the fish outside, salting them, and just letting them hang in order to preserve them, right? You want to warm the body to the core. So blueberries, eggplant. What else is dark? Are figs dark? No, figs are not dark. Dates are dark. Cloves, cinnamon, those kinds of hearty, wintry flavors. Oh, and you want to drink warm liquids, right? I mentioned that earlier. You can't drink cold liquids all winter long and be in the cold all the time. Your body is not going to know how to acclimate that. So if you're not somebody who drinks tea all that much, just try room temperature water at least over the winter time, just to give your body a little bit of support and balance. Here's other ways that you can easily support your water element. I have listed here some key acupressure points that we use, or for those of us who needle, key points around the ankle that you can simply massage that will nurture your water element. So this is the medial part of the leg, the inside leg. There's all these kidney points here that you can just give yourself a nice foot massage around that ankle bone to nourish your water element. Make sure you drink more water. You should be drinking half of your body weight in ounces of water every single day. Go to acupuncture, go to a massage therapist, get those bones and that low back massaged and worked so that you can stay in flow. Take Epsom salt baths. I already mentioned massage around that inner ankle, massage your lower back. Use essential oils. I love to use essential oils, and I will get into that. And then remember, right, if we are cycling through these elements 24 hours a day, what are the key times in which our water element is truly speaking to us? And that is the time between 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. So why do the Brits have tea time between 3 and 5? Well, think about it, right? We've been working really hard all day. We had lunch. We started to digest our lunch. And then we need to take a little break to hydrate ourselves so that we can get through that last part of the day with ease, right? We want to go with the flow. So it's a good time to just between that 3 and 5, go to the water jug that is at your work and make sure that you are drinking some water. And think about what we do during happy hour time, which is the time of the kidneys. That's between 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock. This is when we should be having a light snack. Here in the West, if you caught my earth element, you'll know that the earth element is prime between 7 o'clock and, it's 7 o'clock and 11 o'clock. That's when we're eating our biggest meal of the day. We really shouldn't be eating large meals later in the day. It's just kind of what we do in the West. But ideally, if you want to grow old with ease and grace and support your body at its peak times of when these elements are working at their best, you're going to want to just have a light snack. So this is a time when you're coming down from your day. You should be socializing. You should be resting after work and just spending time with your family. This is a time to restore yourself after a long day. Easier said than done, I know, but in an ideal world, but just think about this now that you have this information about how you can support yourself differently, knowing about these times in which these elements are at their prime. Okay, so I love doTERRA. I love their oils, and I have been an avid user of doTERRA for 6+ years, and they have worked wonders for my health. So doesn't mean that you have to use doTERRA, but here are some essential oils that you can use in order to nourish and tonify your water element. So doTERRA has a really good product for sore joints and bones called Deep Blue Rub. Think of it like an icy hot. It helps with low back pain and arthritis, and it's got all of those cold, blue type, think like peppermint, blue tansy. Think of those types of herbs, spearmint, wintergreen, those types of herbs in that to apply some cold to the body. Their Aroma Touch blend, that's their massage blend, another good option for low back pain and arthritis. Rosemary helps the prostate and helps with nighttime urination issues, helps with memory and focus, kidney and liver issues, muscle and bone pain, and hair loss. So you can just rub that rosemary right onto the scalp. It'll help nourish the scalp and help with losing of the hair, believe it or not. You can add it to your shampoo if you needed to. Oregano and thyme, they're a wonderful antiviral, great if you have frequent bladder infections. Cypress helps with poor urine flow, edema, toxemia, and bedwetting, heavy periods. And then again, our wonderful lemon. You can never go wrong with lemon. If you can see behind me here, we want to nurture all of our elements all of the time. And this earth element and water element have a kind of a dysfunctional relationship, which I won't get into. But if you are nourishing your earth element and water element, like think of those hearty stews, think of that ginger, think of lamb meat, salty fish, and things like that to keep those elements working together in harmony. And then, of course, I always highlight at least one essential oil to be like the king of that element. And I love juniper berry. Look at the color of juniper berries. They are dark in color, right? It's purple, blue. That tells you, all you have to do is look at the food and you can know what element it belongs to. So how does juniper berry as an oil support us? I like to drink juniper berry with lemon as a tea. So if you are experiencing negative emotions like irrational fears, recurrent nightmares, if you have disrupted sleep, or you have avoiding type behaviors, this beautiful plant medicine will help you work through those emotions so that you can nourish your water element. So its positive properties will help you to feel more protected, right? Less fearful, so that you can sleep at night and regenerate, and will help with that willpower, being more courageous and more self-aware of what you want to be doing every day and how you show up with purpose every day in your life. So also, again, right, we talked about some of this. Helps with urinary health, water retention, kidney stones, kidney infections, jaundice, right? Yellow earth, jaundice, disrupting the water element, liver issues, high cholesterol and blood sugar levels, and bacteria. And so I mentioned, like, I like to drink it in my warm water with lemon as a tea in the wintertime. It's like my go-to, and that's what I do. Or if you are experiencing negative emotions and you want to work with this oil on an energetic level in that way, because all of our oils and all of our herbs have a emotional component to them that will help support us with the emotional component of each element. You can just simply apply one drop on the forehead or behind the ears before you go to bed. And that will help with that disrupted sleep and staying out of fear. Try it. Let me know what happens. All right, so if you want to start feeling awesome, you can please join my Facebook group, Rosemary Thyme Oil Mavens. It's our little logo here. You'll see that. I interact every day. We have over 250 members now. I teach on their weekly lives, so you can get on and interact with me. I love having people on to talk to. I host doctors and other providers who also love oils and who also love Chinese medicine. And then every Wednesday night, Dr. Mika and I do a free tongue analysis time. So in Chinese medicine, we use the tongue as a diagnostic tool to basically lets us know what is going on within your body by looking at your tongue. And then if you want to use supplements and oils, we will put you on a personalized plan. With your free analysis, you will get a personalized plan of what supplements to be on and what essential oils you could be using to nurture all of your elements. So that's free to all of my members. So thanks so much for joining me. I will leave you with this beautiful quote from Nicholas Sparks of The Notebook, and that is, "It is life, I think, to watch the water. A man can learn so many things."